This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready to get geeky with you on this fine, dreary Pittsburgh day. At least the sun isn't like shining in our eyes or anything. I should really open these up. I mean, there's no sun coming in. Is this where when the sun goes down, or is it just there? People can see us now.
Sorg closes his drapes, and instead of looking out them, he just uses a camera.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't. Yes, there is. What's it look like outside? Oh, hey. Oh, that's okay. Apparently, I knocked the camera over when I did that. So, anyways, but this is the AwesomeCast. With us, first of all, from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, Pennsylvania, right up the train tracks from us, is John Chichilla.
How's it going?
Hello, Gadget Guru, Big Bank International Esquire.
I have to count Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
What?
4 days until delivery.
4 days. The countdown has begun. I can't remember the last time that we all apparently have gone in on the phones. But anyways, also with us, also we're going to do a show and tell in a moment, I believe. Dudas is with us.
Hi. I just got it. So we did all. Can we talk about us doing the pre-orders yet?
Hold on. Let's do that after we do some business real quick. Well, first, please.
Chaos.
Check out everything at AwesomeCast.com. You can email us at AwesomeCast@sorgatronmedia.com for comments and advertising opportunities at AwesomeCast on the Twitter and our AwesomeCast Facebook page and group. Also, you can subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app and watch the video versions on Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitch channel for Sorgatron Media. And we're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If Vimeo isn't having problems like it did last week, over on the AwesomeCast Facebook, YouTube, and the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. And of course, please, you can also subscribe to the Sorgatron Media master feed on your podcast catcher if you want to check out all the great stuff happening in the Sorgatron Media empire, including Comic Book Pit just dropped a episode today with some Neato Superman cover art over there. So wonder what they're talking about. Also, thanks, big shout out to our friends over at postindustrial.com helping to spread the awesome as well. And of course, a big thanks to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends Matt at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky of Ship Collaborative, Scott McTaggart of Pittsburgh's Podcast, and Mike Pound. And at the Fan Show level, Michael Fedora, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner of the iPhoneography podcast. So thank you to all of those, all of our awesome Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast helping us keep things going here. So before we get into our awesome things, we did all order iPhone of some sort, I believe, on Friday. And I don't know, do we not want to talk about the ordering process or our show and tell first? Which do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm thinking if we talk about the ordering process, we'll get to the show.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So it went smooth for me, except I didn't realize where I don't know how much so if you went through there and you started looking at it, you could actually set up your entire order except for the final,
like ahead of time.
Yeah,
like I set mine up the day before.
Yeah, except for your final executing of that thing. And Katie, I think you had the same issue that both Missy and I had, where we got in there and we're like, where is it? And started from scratch anyways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mine was right at the top.
It was right at the top. Like, we had to go to the For You to find it. And that didn't occur to us when you're in that panic at 8:01 Eastern time when you're like, my God, I got to get this order in. Right?
And then you ordered two?
No. But
okay.
My favorite is still sitting in there, telling me that I need to complete my pre-order. So
yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine was like, oh, you only have like one more day to complete your pre-order or whatever it was, and I'm like, okay.
And then you go back and check your order status just to make sure you didn't mess something up, right? So, no, so I went through fine. Good. They're both set for Friday. I think all of us here are set for Friday deliveries, right?
Yep. So What did we all get the same thing?
Missy upgraded to the Pro because she started from scratch. So I got a Pro Max.
So let's do color, model, color, and size.
I got a blue Pro Max gigabyte.
Terabyte.
Terabyte. I'm sorry. Yeah,
You'll be really sad if
I'd
they
be
send
really
you
sad
the
if it's just a
gigabyte model.
Yeah. Not a lot of ProRes going on there, is there?
So it's funny. So I got the blue Pro, not Max, but 256 gig.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have to. Did you guys get the notifications like yesterday about, hey, make sure you're backed up for the most seamless transition? And they talked me into $2.99 a month for more space.
No, I didn't get that because I already have Apple One, and it let me know that I now have iCloud Plus, apparently.
Yes.
With a bunch of stuff.
So I have that, but I'm on the. I don't have the news or the workout, so I don't get as much space, and I guess the rest of the fam is using up a bunch of the space for backups as well.
Yeah.
So I had to get a little more space so I could just do iCloud backup for everything and then just move over.
So what'd you get, Katie?
I got the 13 Pro Silver because I bought multiple cases.
When you bought multiple cases?
Did you get a Hello Kitty one?
No, I love my pop socket case that I have on my current iPhone, and so I pre-ordered one of their and it's rainbow colored, and I was like, well, I guess I should get the silver phone then to go with so I can change to whatever case I want.
Okay. Yeah, so Missy got the regular Pro. I think it's like a 256 maybe. And blue. So, which and to check in with the chat room, I see Podner's in there, and he says that they ordered theirs on Sunday. Ruth will be getting her iPhone 13 pink on Friday. His Pro Max Sierra Blue will be mid-October. So I believe the Maxes and the higher, from what I was reading, like the Maxes and the higher capacities are going to be the hardest to get now because they're probably not making too many of those. Like it's probably going to be like the first couple of tiers of those at least, right? So that's kind of expected. But I mean, otherwise it was seamless. I didn't have downtime. I didn't have anything like that. I mean, the biggest thing was kind of sitting there, and you're like 2 minutes after, and everything still says we're almost there. So that was
played a little longer.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, all right. And I don't think I've done this before. I honestly don't think I've done like a day of pre-order like this. I think it's just I try to get it the next week or something like that. So at the AT&T store. So, but I feel like everything I bought at the AT&T store for this whole process. But anyways, so that has led into because I guess you guys did like I did, and but probably went on Amazon and says, well, I guess I need some new gear for my phone, right? And it started arriving today for most of us. Yeah. So I have a MagSafe charger that arrived Sunday. And I have nothing to MagSafe because I have a 8 Plus, and then in this is the holder for a MagSafe that I'm going to replace my nightstand wireless charger with. And actually, this is my official unboxing of it. It's just a simple thing. It was like, I don't know, $12 on Amazon kind of thing. That you just plug your MagSafe into it and you create a little wireless stand on it. So I get, we'll give that a shot. But I don't see any reason to replace like my Anchor charging pad or anything like that, right? Like that all's going to work just as well.
Yeah, we use all kinds of older wireless chargers, cables, power bricks, pretty much everything.
Yeah,
that we've used for years.
Yeah, so
we're still using.
And Katie, I think you said you got a case, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that came in, and I sent a picture to Missy, and I was like, I think you got the wrong one. This doesn't fit. She's like, oh yeah, I got the Pro. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you got the Pro. So yeah, so that is, what is it? That's like, so for those on audio, that's just like a clear 13 Pro case, right?
Yep, I went with clear because my other one from Pop Socket's not going to ship till October,
Okay.
and I do not feel confident enough having
No,
it
no, me
this
neither.
time without the case.
I was looking at
And
otter
I would
boxes
have,
today.
I would have gone for the Max, and if I didn't have girl pockets.
Girl pockets. The
Mhm.
girl pocket problem, huh?
Yep, can't carry a bigger phone.
Wow.
You need to get one of those like cases that are also a wallet and have like a little wrist strap.
I'm dangerous. Like I would just whack it off things like boop, boop. That's what I like. I like to throw things into my back pocket and pull it out like,
Mm-hmm.
and then anything bigger than this would not fit in my back pocket. Well, it would hang out a lot of my back pocket.
Oh boy.
Look what I have.
I'm trying to decide. I'm still trying to decide because they say this one's going to be a little more rugged, but there is a purple OtterBox Defender going on over on Amazon, but it says it's screenless, and that worries me a little bit. So, but I guess I don't know. That's what Apple cares for, I suppose. So
The one thing that bums me out though about Otter is they don't do the Marvel line anymore. I have one of the OtterBox ones that's the Iron Man. It glows in the dark,
mhm.
Ooh.
and we actually have it on one of the original 10s. But the one thing I will say is when you put that case on your phone, Dutters,
Mhm.
you'll get a very satisfying donk, and like it lets you know that like the MagSafe has activated in the case.
Neat.
And then if you have other stuff to go on there when you magnet it, it'll give you a little vibration or donk noise.
So is the MagSafe going
Nice.
to MagSafe going to work well through like these OtterBox cases?
If the case is MagSafe rated, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. So should I cancel
Mhm.
what I have going on here? So I'm looking at the Otter. I don't have it on the right computer over here. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out if all of my MagSafe stuff works with this OtterBox case. I mean, it has like I don't know. It has like a clip on the back. I never used a clip, so I don't think that'll be.
Yeah, I never use the clip.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's the
no.
thing.
So
Carla can't use the MagSafe because she has one of those like key ring or finger ring / prop it up kickstand.
So it looks like it's the same. So the wireless charging works on this, and it's
No matter what.
and it's a pretty thick
Yeah.
case. So, but is that MagSafe going to detect through it? Is the question. So I guess it's going to be the first test. Like maybe I just won't
Go try.
MagSafe because I don't trust myself with not an OtterBox case. So like let's be honest about it. But I don't know. It seems like so we got the monthly Apple Care, which is going to be weird. We're paying a monthly fee for Apple Care, I think, and I know it's going to be more expensive in the long run. But I feel like you get more out of it. And considering I want this phone to last me 3 years, like that seems worthwhile to me. Some $11 or something like that a month for and with theft protection as well. So like. So that's pretty much like I have no more phone. Please give me a new phone at that point. So, but I don't know what I don't know at what point like how much do you pay for the new phone? Is it going to be $200 to get a new phone? But then again, I'm going to pay $200 to get a Pro Max 1 terabyte. Jeez, I can't even say it with a straight face. Anyway,
You're gonna have all the space.
Jeez, I'm gonna be able to do everything on this thing. Let's see. And Potter's saying it won't work through that case yet. The MagSafe case for the MagSafe charging to work. All right, I'm going to cancel this order. So I don't know. I got.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
my pop socket is MagSafe,
Mm-hmm.
so you can if you want to look at pop socket, you can look there,
sockets.
and with the difference between like see how this one's kind of like built in, my little pop socket's there. This one, the one on the new phones, it's this part slides off and on, like up and down, so you can slide the little doodad wherever you want to put it.
Oh, okay.
And still use the.
I'm not really up for the pop sockets, but that could be interesting. All right. All right, we'll see that. But so let's get into our awesome things of the week. So I don't know, is that it for you guys? Is that your awesome things? There is a lot more going on. Katie, Fraggle Rock has invaded.
Yes, this is so exciting, and I think that's one of my favorite things about Waze is like sometimes you find out things in advance, and sometimes you're just using Waze and you find something amazing. I think that's how we found a Halo last time was just going in there, and it was like Drive with Fraggle Rock now, and so currently Jim Henson's would have been his 85th birthday is coming up on the 24th. And so the way they're celebrating it with Waze is with the Fraggle Rock crew. And you can pick characters. You can do Red, Boober, Moki, Gobo, Wembley, Doozer, and Junior Gorg. So you can pick one of those as one of your Waze moods. You can also pick a vehicle. You can be one of the Doozers, and which I am. And it's fun to pick the characters. And I always forget that the characters have, we have the crowns or the shields or depending on what level you're on. So it's like just my crowned Fraggle Rock, my royal Fraggle Rock driving around. And I didn't use Red's voice because I usually don't use the voices. Well, I try them, but I don't keep them on because they don't give me specific enough information. They're just like, turn left ahead or whatever. It's like, I need more information than that.
Oh yeah, especially when you're traveling. Well, let's see here. So I definitely I got the mood. I did the car. I'm a bulldozer. And let's see if we can figure out how this sounds here with the things, because it's time to get off of Master Chief. Are we going? You talking to me? Oh wait, I need to turn on this bit. Oh, hold on. All right, get me home.
Google's Uncle Traveling Matt once told us outer space was full of giant Gorg castles. Let's go find some more. Castles, that is. Not Gorgs.
That's a lot. So, and what if I'll detect this right turn that's right up the street? So there you go. If you want some Fraggle Rock. This is, yeah. They're good at it. You wonder how long it's going to take before you get annoyed and toss it back, right? Or it's like, oh, I'm going through a city. I need the very direct route kind of situation, right? Master Chief just yelling at me about looking out for traps while I'm trying to get through Chicago a few weeks ago was probably a little more than I needed, or less than I needed. So, Chilla, are you a Fraggle Rock fan? I love the Apple TV like reboot that they did recently.
I am a Fraggle Rock fan. I have not seen the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I am still on Master Chief on Waze, and I'll be honest with you, I'm still, because of CarPlay, I haven't used Waze with CarPlay yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on Apple Maps. When I'm in the car with CarPlay, I'm Apple Maps. If I'm in the other car that doesn't have CarPlay, I'm a Waze person. So it just depends on what I'm using, what car I'm in, etc.
Yeah. The Waze works great with that CarPlay, from what I've
seen. I just haven't tried it.
Yeah. So like I've tried on a few rent-a-cars over the years, and again, like until it was going, it was like, okay, we'll just use the Apple Maps since we're in town, we're good, we're not going anything too crazy. I just need to get from A to B, right? So no, it's worthwhile. It's definitely worthwhile. Well, my OtterBox might not work with MagSafe, but it may work with something that Ikea is rolling out over here. Ikea has a $39.99, $40 here pad that allows built-in charging to almost any table. So it's and I don't know, do you have to have is it because it's Ikea, like thin particle board? So basically this unit goes underneath the table, it sticks to the underside of the table, and you figure out where the point of the center of it is to set your phone. I kind of like this. You know what? We have a lot of Ikea furniture here in the studio. Maybe that's the kind of thing we need, because it should be compatible, right? So, but yeah, you put that in there, you plug it in, and you just have your table just has the wireless charging built in at that point. The show marque? I don't know.
And I think I don't know if it's in the video, but I'm fairly certain it comes with a sticker to put on the surface of the table,
Mm-hmm. Like a
so
center,
you can see where to place the phone.
so like a centering point or something, right? So
Yeah, like you're supposed to put your, like, see how it says up to, it's like 7/8 of an inch. There it is.
it's a
But
little
you
kind
can
of clear
barely.
sticker, right?
Yeah, it's like a little sticker.
Yeah. It's like you see the kind of surface change and stuff like that. So
Yep.
no, I think that's pretty cool. So that's I'd honestly consider something like that because it'd be nice because then I don't have to have this pad. Now I like my Anchor charger because it's the pad right next to an Apple Watch charger. So if I didn't have a chance to like charge enough of my, because I charge my watch when I'm like doing, getting ready in the morning, go in the shower. Like if I do my, workout, if it's a workout day, put the Apple Watch on the charger and maybe top it off a little bit at the end of the day if it says I need it for, it gives me that reminder for bedtime. I was like, hey, you should charge this beforehand. And then I conked out last night, completely didn't have my watch on all night. So, but no, I like this. This is going on the wish list for the studio, to be quite honest. So, I mean, got a lot of IKEA in here. Like we furnished almost the entire thing. It's all IKEA, couch from the basement. That's it. So this thing's an IKEA, although it might be a little thicker for this. So, but definitely our desk. Chilla, let's bring it back around. iOS came out, right?
Oh, yeah, they dropped the new beta, so everything old or everything that we didn't see, or many other things we
Oh.
didn't see in the 15 release is in the 15.1 release, and that is dropped for developers today. It is not dropped for public beta. One piece of warning for those that are getting phones: if you're on the beta, I have never seen where the OSs don't have to match for the transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wanted to do the quick, like where it scans the wobbly image or whatever, like the particle image, to transfer all your data from one device to the other. So what you end up, if you update to the beta, you will have to take your new phone out of the box, log into it, download the beta profile, install the beta, reboot the device, reset the device back to factory default, and then
Jeez.
activate. So if you're getting a new phone, like I won't update to this beta even if it launches in the next 3 days, because I want an easier transition come Friday when the device comes out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I'm looking at or looking forward to is SharePlay. Not only in FaceTime can you, listen to music with someone else or, watch a movie with someone else, you can share your screen. So if, family member, hey, I'm having problems with my device, I can't find this menu, whatever, you can't remote control the device, but you can at least share the device's screen right via FaceTime. I've made it work with other applications like WebEx and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
but just having it built into FaceTime for a lot of the family just makes it that much easier.
All right, good to know. Good to know. Yeah.
Announced calls is probably not. I mean, if you have AirPods, that works
Mhm.
today. But the announced calls is coming. Lossless audio for HomePod, and the HomePod beta is pretty cool because I do like the lossless and Dolby spatial audio, Atmos spatial audio. And then vaccine cards in the wallet are coming. I'm interested in seeing how that works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily, yeah, because I don't know what connects, because I can't remember if there's any unique number on your vaccination card to link that in. So how are they verifying something like this, right? So I mean, have they talked much about that at all, or they just say?
I didn't see much about it. I saw someone that I saw a screenshot of it, and it had like a QR code. I'm wondering how they actually got that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we'll see.
I'm guessing if it's like some of them, you're just going to take a picture of the one you have, but sure.
All right. Yeah, but maybe you take a picture of it. Oh, go ahead.
I have enjoyed. I use the AirPods where it talks to you about read your text and tell you who's calling. which was weird. And I was like, why? Text message from Danny. And I was like, what? I started reading. And then it'll be like, I can't read longer messages. Would you like me to read this? I said,
Yeah.
yes. And it's just fun to listen to it. It was like, wahoo.
Well, I mean,
There's no
it does a similar thing on CarPlay too, right? Where you do the text messages. So I think they're just bringing that over when it's connected, probably, right? So, because Sheila, you've probably experienced something like that on the CarPlay.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to help someone troubleshoot their laptop connection.
Oh, okay. He's on the job. Are you on call right now?
No, it's my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
He's texting me that his Surface is giving him a
Oh, geez.
problem.
Well, anyways, let's throw a shout out to our friends out there at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza here up the street in Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and the North Hills. Of course, go check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. New York City style. Yins are made, our good friends over there. Thank you to them for supporting the show. All right, let's get into. So this was fun. And I think this crosses over both of your interests a little bit. So I found this story, and I didn't get a chance to download this and explore this a little bit. I feel like this is something Chill is going to hop into. Although I have Minecraft thanks to Game Pass, so there's not really much holding me back from doing this except for time. But there is a user out there who is apparently attempting to create the entire Star Wars galaxy in Minecraft, and this is pretty impressive. So here's the adventure map trailer is the video that they have connected in here. So the user there, then you see the trenches of I presume Tatooine. That looks like a Mos Eisley kind of setup there. There's some stuff that gets in here to Coruscant with the tall buildings and everything. So it's a pretty cool. There's land speeders on there. But of course everybody is a Minecraft character. Look at that. That looks like the Padres Coliseum, right? So there's some Coruscant action there. That's impressive that has to take a while to build something like this. So, and of course they're opening the maps. You can download them and use them with links to the article that we'll have linked in our show notes as well. So, Chili, you see yourself testing these out?
I wouldn't mind testing this out. Have you? So there is I don't know if it was free or if I can't remember if I paid for it. There is a download pack that you can get with the Star Wars. Like it has a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and then the Millennium Falcon's pre-built.
So
and they actually have like the Millennium Falcon in like docked on in Mos Eisley. They have it, in the asteroid field.
So this is
in a couple different places.
This is the official one that they put out there, and it's got several of the movies. A lot of the characters are involved in. Has some a little bit of Mandalorian in it as well. So, and this is the trailer for the official one. So, but of course that's got the more character kind of situation. So I don't know. Yeah, and everything looks like it's a little bit of a pro build, a little bit than the other one. But I mean, it's still impressive nonetheless that they're doing that. I mean, do you think they have, when they do official ones like this, are there more specialty built tools, or is everybody kind of working on the same Minecraft editors at this point?
I think everyone's working on the same editor. I don't think they get anything.
Nothing special
that
there.
No one else has access to. What I'm interested in, and I'll have to look it up. From my knowledge, it's not easy to take something that I build and give it to you.
Okay.
Like for the normal person, like unless you're building one of those levels and you're going to sell it like on the store.
Right.
There's nothing where like that guy that built that, unless he sets up a server and lets you come and run around in it and then locks you into some kind of mode where you can't destroy anything, because there's nothing worse than letting someone into your server and they go around and burn down your Millennium Falcon. But there's no easy way that I know of to like export, at least on mobile, export and import like pre-built levels where I can give you something I built.
Let's see.
Windows, you can kind of export some directories and you can kind of muck with it.
There
Java's
is,
even easier, but there's no.
so
I don't know.
so if you follow the link, if you go to the so they tell you in the text of the article, if you have to go to the link in the description to the trailer, so you have to click through the YouTube link to find the description to get the link, and then this is like the whole beta situation you're just telling me, and there is a download page. So you get a resource pack, and you get a Far Galaxy version 1. So there is that, and I imagine this is more of a PC Windows kind of situation. Like, it's probably not easy for me to throw this like on my Xbox version, right? Or even my X Cloud Game Pass version.
If you may be able to sync up if you pay for Realms, where it's kind of like an online leveling setup where you can probably transfer stuff back and forth, but I don't know of a way to do it.
So Katie, I don't think you're much of a Minecraft player, but what do you think about the Star Wars angle on this?
I think it would take me too much to learn how to get around.
Well, there's not much. There's not much to it. It's literally just kind of walking around and whatever, right, Chilla?
Looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, there's not. If you just want to walk around like an area and check it out and do an eye over it, there's not much. I mean, navigation's pretty easy, especially on a mobile device, even on any kind of non-PC. Like, we play Java Edition sometimes, and that I actually have to like Google keyboard controls for Minecraft Java Edition and have it next to me. But because they're like it's like the WS Z, like forward, left, right, back. But then all the other stuff, like I can't jump, mine, run. I can never remember what all the keyboard combinations are. But
so it's
on
more
mobile,
accessible.
it's super easy.
It's more accessible.
You
So
just touch your screen.
So Katie, you just need to download, and you should be able to pull it down on the Mac version, right? Like there's Minecraft Mac. And no.
You can get Java Edition.
Oh, that might be.
That you have to pay for.
Oh, okay.
You can't get you, and you may be able to do like xCloud.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but
there's no
that's
like
if you have Game Pass. So,
to my knowledge, there's no like. I actually have Boot Camp installed to run some of the Windows games, and that's one of them.
Okay. So it's still be rather. We're just gonna grab an old laptop and throw it on there for you, right, Katie? So
yep, that'll work.
Plenty of those around here. So, but it's like it kind of reminds me of the last few. I don't know. Valhalla, I imagine, does the same thing. But the Origins and Odyssey editions of Assassin's Creed have these are really pretty games, but I don't want to like hack and slash everything that'll kill me. If you're not an Assassin's Creed player, but you're just kind of interested, there's like a sort of a tourist mode, an educational mode, where you can just drop into the maps on Assassin's Creed and just walk around and explore. I think it's more of a, I don't think you're an avatar. I think you're just kind of like a camera going through first person for the most part, but it's like, and those are gorgeous games. So if you're just like, what is it like to be in the middle of ancient Greece? Here you go. Or ancient Egypt, here you go. And I always thought that was a nice aspect to kind of jump in and explore. And I think they were offering those for free on the Ubisoft PC store for a while too. I don't know if they just generally do or not, because I think they're positioned for people to use as educational tools. Like, I could see like a school that's like studying ancient Egypt, just like have the class go through it, right? So, but that's a really cool thing. Maybe less so in Minecraft, but same idea, right? So, anyways, we have a few things submitted here. Let's see what we can get into. So, there wasn't much info that I could tell on this, but apparently Verizon has developed something of an emergency response vehicle. Now, I also remember Verizon was the one that had cut off service a fire department that was fighting the California fires a few years ago. So I think they've been really, really working hard to make sure they get past that. But Dave Ponner shared this one. It's called the Thor vehicle, and it appears to be It says here, the next step is being able to respond to disasters. If this vehicle can't respond to a crisis, I don't know what vehicle can, says a Verizon engineer, Carlo Thompson, there in a promo video. So it looks like it's a fire truck vehicle, and it's got some elevated... it's got a satellite dish and some elevated towers on it, presumably for some LTE service, so they can still communicate over a fire, around an emergency situation, whether that be up in the mountains where some of these fires are happening, or if the infrastructure's gone down to help out with that. Because I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that communication point out there. Verizon, and I know Verizon's been really decent with this innovation. I know. Talking with some Verizon people a few years ago, they have like an innovation center out in San Francisco. I still need to try to get out there, and I believe you can visit it and see some of the stuff out there that they're working on. And again, pushing that whole, hey guys, use it. Well, at the time it was LTE, right? Now it's 5G. So, what can they do with these technologies? I mean, we worked with a few projects alongside some stuff where it's like, hey, maybe we can use this 5G stuff, and it didn't work out. But still, like, they're really, that's how they push everything, right? So I don't know, what do you guys think of this Thor vehicle that's in here? I said, there's not much more to it, I don't think. This is a kind of a spot quote page on Insider that was shared. But
yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting, and got 6 doors total.
Yeah.
3 on each side.
That's why just getting people out there is like a transport vehicle / communication vehicle, right? So
all the people, let's go for a ride.
There you go. Let's see.
I'm surprised they don't. Is this kind of? Do they use that? I mean, obviously they use it in an emergency, but is that the kind of equipment they use to add signal to an area during? Like when I know some areas can get overrun with cellular signal, and they have to bring in like equipment to help with the signal in locations during dense population that normally wouldn't be there. Like, I can't remember. They did something. There was something going on in Pittsburgh. It was like a combination of the marathon, or there was a combination of a sporting event, and like 3 things happening, and they ended up having to do something. They had to bring equipment in.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
I wonder if this is the kind of stuff they use for that too, or was this built off of that theory?
I think something like that happens with like conferences, like when like CES happens, they'll bring in more towers or something, like temporary towers they'll set up or something like that. I think it's the same concept, because a lot of that technology is being used to track the fires as well, right? So you get out there in the field, and again, whether it's the infrastructure has literally burnt or melted, right, or there is no infrastructure because they're out in the mountains, like they need something to be able to communicate, and this, it was short of, I don't know if these firefighters would have sat phones necessarily. But it's disaster response. I mean, I'm sure even the cell phone infrastructure is probably taken out when some of those hurricane hit states and cities were hit pretty hard, right? So you got to throw these up to try to prop that up just so people can communicate and coordinate, or else it turns into Mad Max, I guess. So but less than awesome thing. This is unfortunately a growing trend, and somebody commented on the comments on this one too, about some of our issues here locally. But there's the massive Museum of Pinball closes, leaving around 1,700 games to be auctioned off. This is unfortunate. And this is the one this is not the local one, I don't believe. This is in Banning, California. And they've been doing this from 2013. This is very similar to what's happened here earlier this year, or last year, I guess, where we did lose Games and At, which was a video game place, kind of party center thing that was on I guess more on the slopes of the south side here in town. But we also lost, of course, Replay FX, and those guys were doing, like, they had a great nonprofit. We talked to them about it here on the show with them. That was, collecting and preserving live games, and did Replay FX and did the pinball competitions and everything like that. And I know a lot of that got liquidated, or at least was going to. I don't know where they're at with that process. So I mean, these events, these tourist attractions, I'd be interested to see what the pinball, PA Pinball and Arcade Museum in up here in Ambridge, Aliquippa area is doing as well. When you take away, you take away, like, anybody coming in your door, that probably hurts a lot for those things. And I mean, how many businesses we've lost, and that's gonna hurt the arcade businesses. Especially these ones that are kind of collecting. I wonder. And, a lot of them is nonprofits too. What does that do to something like that? So it's unfortunate. So, but anyways, I miss Replay FX so bad. Like that's the biggest hole that I know is not coming back. Is that one between? I mean, there was nothing like it. So. There's a new GoPro Hero 10, and I think it does 4K. Something ridiculous. I just bought an 8 myself, so of course there's a new one out. It's got a front. I don't know that these ones, that the one I'm playing with, I mean the 9 does, has a video screen on the front. I think it's more of an LCD. But big upgrade to that. Some better. Working with light and slow-mo and everything like that. 5.3K max resolution and 23 megapixel photos. Is that enough for you, Chilla?
I think that's enough. I
mean, I don't
know. Especially for that type of device.
Right. Maybe our phones will be doing that stuff, but I don't know.
Right. I guess if you can't get close enough, and you like, what I find myself doing with like the 4K type stuff is not necessarily taking it to 4K. Mm-hmm. It's, at least for me, it's more, hey, I want to zoom in on this section and make it bigger, but make it 1080p.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I don't. Do people have the? I still don't think people have the bandwidth.
So I'm still a big believer.
Do they have a screen big enough where it's going to matter?
Right. I'm still a big believer that you record in 4K, and even if the product, we've released when we did the formula videos, we did those in 4K, put them out as 4K. I know nobody's going to watch those in 4K, but when you go back and watch like the YouTube at 1080, 720. Like, it's always like you do the best you can, and if it gets crunched down, I mean, for how long we were creating HD videos for these pro wrestling groups, and most people were buying them on DVD. But the DVD is going to look great because it was high-end HD content, right? That we had to crunch down, but still, that DVD is going to look as good as possible. So, I mean, I'm still a big believer of that. I mean, I think it's that flexibility, like you're talking about. You can move things around. You can, scrunch it down to 1080. It's just, the more information, the better. I mean, just like, mm-hmm. I mean, you do a DSLR resolution photo in RAW to do JPEGs on a website, right? Mm-hmm. In the long run. But you still want the really good source material to do that from. So, Katie, you're a photographer as well. What do you think about this crazy 5.3K device?
It'd be amazing to see. I think to be able, but some of the things, like I'm reading this article that's really, really interesting, is like how smooth things would be. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about how you can get away from gimbals because it's going to transition into something like a smoother move versus, like, especially if you're using this in an action area, if you're mounting on the front of your bike or whatever, it's not going to be that bounce, bounce, vomit, vomit, and then turn. It's going to be like, woo, woo, glide.
Maybe I can still make your videos better. Maybe I can still strap my GoPro to my cheap ass. I'm afraid to, since I replaced my drone. about a month ago and realized I basically bought a whole new drone with how much it cost me to buy the
Whoa.
buy the service on it from Best Buy. I've been afraid to bust it out of the box because I think I'm going to break it again. So, but no, I've been wanting to like take a GoPro, strap it to it, and see if it would support the weight because the camera on is nothing, right? So I mean that's been my own personal experience. I don't think it's going to support too much. So, but anyways, what were you saying, Chilla?
What's it's not 1440, it's above 1440. What's 2.7K? So and I think what Dudders is talking about is, you know, has a lot to do with frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
So at 5.3K, it's getting 60 frames per second. At 4K, it's getting 120.
Yes.
And at 2.7K, it's getting 240.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never heard 2.7K.
Yeah, that's
like I've heard of like ultra. There's high def, which is 1080p, right? And then there's ultra high def, which is 1440. And 4K is, can't remember what is 4K resolution size?
2160.
What is it? No, it's 3840 by 2160.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So like, but 2.7K is 2704 by 1520. I've just never heard that used. Like, is it something that's used a lot?
I doubt it. Or maybe it is for like maybe this is like a high end cinema thing that's finally trickling down to our prosumer.
Because it talks about 16 by 9 resolution.
So it'll be fun. And so this is the big test because I got that Hero 8, and I think I should do an A/B test of it next to the Pro Max on some video and mostly video, right? I think is what I'd be concerned with. So like I don't know, would that be an interesting comparison? You think for most people out there? Side by side.
I think it'd be interesting just to side by side. I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of, and this video over on Engadget is doing a lot of side by side, of course, with the 10 and the 9 to see where the upgrades are too. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. So batteries are compatible across the board. Good. I gotta get some spare batteries for mine. So worthwhile. So go there you go. And of course, the true purpose of this is to have a selfie stick while you're skateboarding, obviously. Obviously. So, any other stories we need to hit on here before we get out of here, before Chilla Pumpkin time? You guys got some stuff at the bottom, don't you?
Two just quick, maybe 2 tips. I don't know what you would call it. If you're an Apple TV user and you update to Apple TV, the new version of Apple tvOS that launched Monday, there are 16 new aerial screensavers.
Ooh, that's what we're here for.
I'm a big fan of the aerial screensavers.
Yes.
It's probably just me being a geek.
Chilla, I have a 2007 iMac in my Twitch room, and it has the aerial screensavers that I downloaded on it. So, and it's basically all it does when I'm in there. So.
The interesting thing, and I didn't realize this, you can go into, once you've updated the operating system, you can go into settings, general screensaver, and make sure that it downloads new videos daily. So if you want to get those videos as quick as possible, otherwise the device will stream them down slowly over time.
And also reminding everybody to try to update devices across the board. I don't know what the deal was. I've upgraded my phone, but did not upgrade my watch or my TV, or at least my secondary Apple TV for the workout room. And it was not happy. It wouldn't. It wouldn't connect. It wouldn't sync things up. I started using my phone with my watch since the TV wouldn't connect to my watch, and none of the graphics were right on it because it was a 15 with the last watch. So just remember this week as all the new updates are coming and you're doing regular things like that connect across devices, try to remember to match things up before you need them, right? My Series 3 watch update took hours today with it sitting on the charger.
So someone said, and I haven't tried it on an older watch, someone said if you want to speed the watch will use Bluetooth to get its update
Mm-hmm.
from your phone, and will only use Wi-Fi if it has to.
So you got to turn off Bluetooth.
So turn off Bluetooth on your phone,
That's probably it.
and it
Yeah.
will cause the update to process much faster.
That makes sense because it said it was preparing for like a while. So that's probably it. And then my old Apple TV, I think it's the original. I guess it would be considered the first gen that that would do apps and stuff. It returned an error every time I tried to update it today when I was starting to have problems with it. So everything's got auto updates. So hopefully that stuff just kind of turns over on its own in the next couple of days. So that's going to be a big part of that. So, sorry, because I know you're transitioning to another thing. I picked up an Eero this week. A 3-pack of Eero, which is the mesh Wi-Fi, because I have consistently had problems with the internet now dropping in some of my upper rooms, like furthest away from my Wi-Fi router. And then I remembered my walls have metal in them.
Ooh.
Like it's some sort of sheet metal, thin sheet metal with plaster around it kind of situation. And then I just like, oh, this is why I've been having Wi-Fi trouble for years. So I picked up the mesh, and and now over a year ago, we helped a church. Their router was on the other end of the church, and we used a 3-pack of Eeros to stretch that internet into the sanctuary where they're going to stream from. And we literally had to put one in like the rec room in the middle, and then put another one under the podium in the sanctuary. Presbyterian Monaca Presbyterian Church up north here in Beaver County. And got an Eero because I figured it'd be the easiest thing for them to use, right? So I picked this thing up, and I'm like, no way I need 3 of these for just my house, my little Pittsburgh house, right? That's exactly what I needed. I had to put one in. I had to put one. So we got the living room. I have one above it in one of the spare bedrooms, and then over to the bedroom across the hall. It's not a big house. Chilla, I think you have like twice the size of a house than I do, right over there. And but because the walls are so problematic, it seems like I needed more energy in there. And now I'm playing streaming.
I need to do something.
I'm playing streaming games in my bedroom with no problem now. It's been great. Like my new Chromecast was dropping, like everything. I was sitting there on my MacBook and it was dropping while I was working on a podcast at night in my bedroom. And that
you're gonna have me tearing apart my entire house.
Why? You're gonna find metal in your walls and figure out what's going on?
I get weird drops, and I get weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like some days it works on the back patio, some days it doesn't.
Yeah, and going outside because that's gonna be the thickest, like kind of brick, right? Like that's a problem I have.
Yeah, and I get weird. I get weird. Like so, what I did was I actually put like a repeater in one of the rooms, but then like it'll disconnect, and it's not a lot. It'll disconnect like once every couple of weeks, but then it never reconnects. Like, but I'm using I'm using old Apple.
Yes.
So, I mean, they don't even make anything anymore.
So also I've been having problems. Like I got all my home kits, not my home kit, but all my plugs, and I got a Sylvania bulb that was on Google Home, automation and stuff, and all of that would always drop off after a couple of days. I think that's the reason, right? I didn't have strong enough Wi-Fi. They were losing it. They weren't reconnecting. Every once in a while, my Google Home upstairs would just say, "Hey, we're having a problem right now," and it would come back. It would reestablish after a while. So I need to, because now I need to shift everything from one Wi-Fi over to the other one, and I wasn't ready for that. Because Chilla, I have a lot of Wi-Fi devices in my house. So I'm still doing that juggle, but I put the important things on, like media players and things like that, and phones and watches and MacBooks and things like that. So, but no, that's the Eero has been a big. If you're having Wi-Fi problems like that, look at something like an Eero. I paid about $200 for the Wi-Fi 5, I think, edition out of Best Buy, and it's solving most of my problems without having to rewire my entire house. So,
are you doing anything where you connect any of them, like other than the first one? Are you connecting them to any Ethernet at all, or just the first one and let them talk to each other?
I did the first one. I plugged the Chromecast in because I was hardlining the Chromecast because it's the 4K that has the Ethernet on it, and I did plug the secondary the workout room Apple TV into the Hero just so it's because I was starting to plug things in to get them off the Wi-Fi to decrease the noise on the Wi-Fi, if that makes sense. Because I mean, again, like the more things you take out the Wi-Fi, the less Wi-Fi problems you're going to have because it won't be like at capacity and freaking out, right? So that was kind of my belief there, at least. So
but can you if you run an Ethernet, can you actually run an Ethernet to each one of these, or can you run?
I don't
off your you plug one of these into your home router, right?
Yes.
Directly. If you had another drop in another area of the house that was far, far, far away.
I don't think that's what they're meant for. Because if you look at the Eero site, like it's all about kind of creating that crossover. So
creating the true
it's more
mesh.
about creating that mesh of the devices so everything overlaps, so you're covered, right? More than just the extension projecting kind of situation I think you're talking about. So
they have a thing called a beacon.
Yeah, and I think that's just like kind of an add-on thing. So I don't know what the difference is. So it was just a 3-pack of like the general Eeros, and I know there's like an Eero router, but it depends on what you have. Like I have the FiOS router that has its own Wi-Fi, so I had to pull off of that, and then I basically created an entire other Wi-Fi system. So I had no idea what to call the new Wi-Fi, and I wanted something clever, and all I could think of, because there's been a lot of space stuff, was calling it Major Tom. So, what was the one? Did I send it? Was,
you got to call your guest network like ground control.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of guests over though, so not anymore. Since we pulled the studio out, like barely anybody's been to my house. Everybody comes here. We have a couch. It's fine. This is my second living room practically, with a giant window for everybody to see. So, Chilla, you have one more really quick.
This is just a really easy, quick one. So Oculus has come out with a deal that runs through September 27th. So act fast. You have 6 days from the recording of this episode. If you are looking for not one Oculus Quest, but 2 Oculus Quests, and this is the second gen. If you buy one, they knock $100 off the second one. It does look like you do have to buy the same model, but think about it. If you're buying the 128 gig models, instead of costing you $600, it's going to cost you $500 because they retail for $299.99 a piece. Or you can get 2 of the 256 gig models for $700. I have the 128. I love it, and I don't find myself running out of space. But I am not probably as crazy. I'm a big Beat Saber person. And then I'll get a game, I'll play it, and I'll delete it. Like Netflix is on there, of course, but that doesn't take up a ton of space. I'm not downloading stuff for offline viewing typically. But I thought it was a pretty good deal. And I mean, if you look at the quality of the Oculus Quest 2, $299 is not a bad price for one. But if you're like, the one thing I do wish is like I had more than one sometimes, so I could play with multiple people instead of passing it back and forth. It's a pretty good deal to get $100 off.
You know what? I messed up when I was looking at this thing earlier. Apparently, I was at the bottom of the article for some reason. There's a lot more to the Thor vehicle that we're talking about earlier. There's a drone. There's to capture video. There you go. There's all the stuff we were asking about. I don't know why we had just a picture. I thought this was one of those weird like scrolly multiple story kind of pages that we were at, but so there's a bit more about this in this link. It's just somehow where we started at the bottom, and I thought that was all there was. So it's a Ford F650 class chassis, excuse me, which is a medium duty work truck. It has the 5G ultra wideband is one of those radios and one central command center. And again, it's for, like I said, just kind of deploying as a let's see, a distant data center. So yeah, this is like out in the field again with everything kind of broken down like we're talking about. So making sure public safety agencies, military personnel, and first responders get a fast, reliable 5G network during power outages in remote areas where there's no coverage, like after a damaged tornado or fighting a rapidly moving forest fire. So no, I think I'd like to see those getting rolled out there. So I do wonder, is this something that like Verizon, I'm sure it's a concept vehicle at this point, right? So I'll be interested to see those get deployed in certain areas. So, or does Verizon just kind of roll them out too, as their own kind of support system? So, well, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Katie, K Dudas on the Twitter.
Yes, I'm gonna call you on my invisible phone.
That's your.
You got the next. You have the next model.
Oh,
it's clear
don't
now.
tell anyone.
Wait, I've seen this show. On Amazon Prime.
It's only visible if you wear the special glasses that you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, see.
We just can't see it.
Yep.
See, it's the Wonder Woman phone, right? She had that plane.
Yep.
It's
Looking to see my thumbs moving on it.
That's great. Well, you'll be on your future phone, of course, on K Dudas on the Twitter, Kate Marie PGH on the Instagrams.
Yep, and one of our very poor friends who lives in New York is going to have to deal with us at their reception, shooting all kinds of
Yes,
video.
they
I just thought
are.
about that.
Oh man, yes. Oh, I can't wait to use cinema mode at the reception. Oh man. Well, and on top of that, I was telling him about the Airbnb we got that looks like it's in the middle of nowhere with like this gazebo and stuff. So I think we're going to do like nature photography for the first couple of days out there in upstate New York. So, looking forward to that. Visiting that for a friend of Wrestling Mayhem show, one of our co-hosts having his wedding next month. So, and do Chilla at Chilla on the tweets.
John Chichilla on the Twitters. Chilla579, I think, on the Instagrams. I'm not on there that much though.
There you
anymore.
go. Thank you everybody thank you everybody hanging with us for our technical issues last week. So new hardware is hard sometimes, and sometimes the websites just don't want to stream things, and you just got to figure out how you're going to work with it, and that's kind of all part of this. But thank you, everybody. And, of course, if you're on the podcast or you watch it after, you have no idea, and that's fine, too. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.